Hello, I am Jan from Prague, the Czech Republic, and in this slightly unusual video we are checking out a new special edition of the Canon G7X Mark III. This compact camera, originally from 2019, somehow refuses to age and is still a hit with content creators, because, they say, it simply makes more authentic photos than smartphones. I took this Canon across Europe from Hungary to Spain, and with roughly 200 photos we'll see if it really still deserves all the attention even after all these years. So this is Canon PowerShot G7X Mark III, anniversary edition which should celebrate the 30 years of PowerShot lineup. But for me, frankly, this was an excuse why to return to reviewing that camera after 7 years. This is still a very important camera for Canon. It sells great, but the reason what pushed me to doing this piece was this article, which basically suggested that this camera is a dream for many influencers, many content creators. And when my daughter told me it's absolutely amazing and that I should definitely get it, I realized I should really do it. It gives content creators a great tool which is different. So what is the reason why people still love this camera? I think when you see these shots, they are really authentic. They are more authentic than smartphones. And I know it's very hard to define what I mean by that, but simply if you use this, if you test it for a couple of days, you simply feel that it is indeed different than the things you are getting out of mobile phones. But what certainly applies to all these results is that if you really want a different world, if you really want to have a different feeling from what you do, like here in the streets of Barcelona, you'll be just getting it. And I've been using digital cameras for many years, so this is not surprising for me, but I am actually sure that shots like that are really impressive for those who've never used them before. Why? Because they are different, first, and they are able to optically blur background, which is something mobiles can't do. They do it digitally. It's, in fact, the second reason why people love it, because if you see these shots, yes, they are more authentic than a mobile shot would be, but also the background is natural. It's done by lenses, not by digital algorithms like in the case of mobile phones. So yes, I think you'll love these shots, and well, this is not exciting photo, but still you can see how it works. You can see that the ground is partly blurred by optics, and it does indeed looks great. Same here, blossoms in Barcelona and details here in Hungary. And yes, some more shots where you'll really enjoy the ability to work with the depth of field, and this is not like in the case of mobile phones, blurred digitally. It's done by optics, and it's really charming. One more reason why people love this camera is the ability to zoom. I mean, to zoom optically, not digitally like in the case of majority of mobile phones, either here in Austria, which untypically was covered by snow, or here at the shores of Balaton Lake in Hungary. And it's really so useful to know that you are zooming with the help of lenses that I wasn't able to resist taking shots like that, because the optics can really be helpful in the case of these motorbike drivers or musicians in the center of Barcelona. So once again, you'll like it. And of course, we should not forget one of the most important definition points of the specifications of this camera, which is 1-inch sensor. It means that the physical size of the sensor is really much bigger than a normal compact would be. Of course, it's much bigger than 99% of mobile phones. It means that if you start playing with shots like that, again from Barcelona, you'll just love the results you're getting, because the data, the details are there. You are using optics to draw fantastic shot, and the 1-inch sensor is really helpful in the case of these shots, or maybe even here again in Spain. So let's see some more examples, some industrial parts of Barcelona, or these details again with amazing blur. For me, this is one of the greatest examples of why the big sensor really counts, because we have a huge dynamic range, nice details, and although the shot is not exciting as such, it's a great proof that indeed you have a great tool to take nice photos. One more important reason why it's really great to have this camera, because yes, of course, you can put it into your pocket. It's a small compact camera, which is extremely useful when you, for instance, decided you should see some nice galleries like here in the Slovakia, and then you'll really like the simple fact that you can just hide this in your pocket, although you don't actually have to hide it because photography is allowed here. And you'll enjoy that you have the real thing, the real camera, and it does really count because you have better feeling. So again, we are getting back to the core principle that the authenticity is what really counts here. Until now, we are talking about photos, but of course, video also counts. And here is an example of a very typical situation when I was walking through the mountains of Moravia, and suddenly I found a great place to test it. So I did connect the camera to my iPhone, and here are some examples of the shots I was able to take. Why am I standing in the creek? It's not that I'd like to be interesting, but it's simply I found a great location, great position, so I was playing right here. And clearly, great advantage of the application is that you are able not only to push the button, you are able to change the focus, you are able to set zoom, obviously, so you'll really like it. Let's listen to examples with and without original sound. And now you can see an example of how this camera operates. I am remotely controlling it, so I can zoom and I can do many really useful things. So I can zoom and I can do many really useful things. Some final shots and the way I was operating the camera with my iPhone. After all these points, you might be asking myself, so does this mean that the photos would always be better than from mobiles? And the answer is a little bit tricky because it is true and it is not true at the same time. Here is a photo from Xiaomi 17 and here is the photo from Canon. The key difference is that the mobile phones process the photos on the spot. So there are clouds, the green is greener, whereas cameras, and it doesn't actually matter if it's a camera for $500 or $5,000, they still need some processing after it. So I did a couple of, quick edits with JPEG. If I used RAW, it would be even much, much better. But the key principle is, do not get scared when you see shots like this in a complicated light. Do not be scared by the fact that, yes, the mobile phones can deliver something which looks better. But you can always get much better results when you edit the photos. And now let me take you to a couple of European countries. We are starting here in Austria when vineyards were covered by snow, which is quite untypical view. And I am really showing you these photos in a very quick pace, which I have to apologize for, but the reason is you'll get some idea what to expect from that camera. And yes, this is, as you already know, for me, one of the key photos. It's not exciting as such, but it shows us that the camera is able to work with a huge dynamic range and it can really deliver very interesting results. Night photography also works great, but again, if you compare these shots to what you got from your mobile phone, you might not see a big difference because yes, mobiles are really good in these shots, but once more, if you decide to edit them, you'll get better results. And let's have a coffee in this Hungarian city. And once more, this would be a very typical case for a camera like that you are enjoying details. You are enjoying shooting shots where you're playing with the bokeh, when you're playing with the depth of field. And yes, indeed, that would be a very important part of what you'll be doing should you buy this camera. Some more details, some more examples of what you can achieve if you start playing with this camera and you learn and master aperture priority, which supports the depth of field and which enables shots like this. Let's jump to some more examples which I like because you can spot the key feature, which I think is the simple fact that these shots really look authentic. They look much more authentic than mobile shots, because you can feel you are there. You can feel that they are not that perfect, like the really deeply processed shots from mobile phones, and this is really charming for me. So I like these results, because once more you have proper camera in your hand. You have a real thing which is able to deliver real photography, which is not to say that I do not like mobile phones. Yes, I do. I test them and they are amazing. But these are photos from proper thing. These are photos from a proper camera, and it's really charming, as I mentioned a couple of times. And I do indeed believe that the reason why people love these cameras even after many years is exactly that this is not perfect, but you can feel that it's different, which really counts. One more amazing location, Danubiana, fantastic museum in Slovakia. Do definitely go there if you have chance. It's fantastic. It's just on the bank of the Danube River. I was really lucky to be there in this beautiful light, so I was just really pleased with the results. And again, this is one of the locations when you definitely feel the charm of the big sensor, when you are enjoying the simple fact that you are able to work with the depth of field, with the aperture and all these tricks. And yes, you are able to really get creative, like here in the case of these shots. Once more, I am not saying that these shots would be always better than from the top mobile phones. No, but they would have different energy. You would definitely like them, even in locations like that, because yes, this is one of the most amazing museums in this part of the world, and you can really feel that you are part of it. And the little thing like the one we are just testing today can help you to enjoy it even more during day or even during night. And now we jump to the Czech Republic, to the mountains of Moravia, and just let me remind you that if you take the very same shot with your iPhone or an Android phone, the colors would be slightly brighter, the sky would be shining a little bit more. But this is simply the difference between mobile phones and proper cameras. But once you are lucky and you have a great light, the camera will be really ruling the situation, and you'll be getting these amazing shots full of contrast, full of colors. And this is exactly the difference between the real photos and the photos from mobile phone, because yes, the mobiles will deliver nice results as well, but you can really feel that this is different. And once again, the keyword difference is what really matters here. Some more details, some more examples of why it's important and useful to work with depth of field, and slowly we can move to another country, which obviously is Spain, and my favorite city of Barcelona, and all these amazing buildings and details. And let me just show you a couple of examples. Here I was lucky to see that gathering of old cars, and once more it's a perfect opportunity to take some shots, not only of the old cars, but maybe with the policeman. And once again, I was not shy to use the zoom, even the digital zoom, because I didn't mention you have the optical zoom 24-100, but even then you are able to zoom a bit further, and if you do not overdo it, the results would still be great, because yes, of course, you have a huge sensor, so it will work as well. Musicians playing in front of the cathedral, once again, these are results which you won't be able to get easily from mobile phones, because you can see that there are different levels of sharpness. And yes, that is one of the reasons why I really think you like it, because the creativity you're able to achieve with that camera is nearly endless. Yes, there are some limits. It can be slow. It won't be that easy to see anything on the display. But what really matters is that you are just walking through the streets of that amazing city and you feel like a real photographer, because you have a real camera in your pocket and you're able to shoot things like this when you are using the optics to achieve things which are not typically achievable with mobile phone. And the feeling that you are shooting real life with a proper camera is really, really tempting. And sometimes even these imperfections can really play, and you might like them, like the part of the game which helps you to get amazing shots, like here in the case of these blossoms. And a lot of details, thanks mostly not only to optics, but also the big size of the sensor. And finally, a couple of shots from Barcelona in March. First, sunshine, beautiful colors and contrast and shadows and bicycles. And yes, I have to say I love Barcelona, so it's always a pleasure to walk through streets and taste all these fantastic things. Again, the huge size of sensor and good quality of lenses really helped us to achieve these shots, even under very tough conditions, artificial light and all these complex lighting conditions. And final shots from Barcelona, amazing light, amazing building, amazing colors. And once again, the feeling you are taking these shots with a proper camera, not a mobile phone, is a thing which is really addictive. Once you start doing it, it won't be easy to stop. So thank you so much for your attention. I hope you got a bit of inspiration. Take care. I am Jan from Prague, the Czech Republic.